Good morning, dear students. Welcome to the science class. Today, we continue our discussion on chapter 5, the fundamental unit of life, cell. What is a cell made up of? What is the structural organization of a cell? If we study a cell under a microscope, we will come across three features: plasma membrane, nucleus, and cytoplasm. Here you can see this is the structure of plant cell. This is called plasma membrane or cell membrane. This is cytoplasm. This is nucleus, and all these are cell organelles: mitochondria, vacuole, chloroplast. So all activities inside the cell and interactions of the cell with its environment are possible due to these features. Today, let us learn about plasma membrane or cell membrane. The plasma membrane or cell membrane is the outermost covering of the cell that separates the contents of the cell from its external environment. The plasma membrane allows or permits the entry and exit of some materials in and out of the cell. It also prevents movement of some other materials. The cell membrane therefore is called a selectively permeable membrane. The plasma membrane allows or permits the entry and exit of some materials in and out of the cell, and it also prevents movement of some other materials. Therefore, the cell membrane is called selectively permeable membrane. In cells, some substances like carbon dioxide or oxygen can move across the cell membrane by a process called diffusion. That is a spontaneous movement of a substance from the region of high concentration to a region where its concentration is low. Let's see what is diffusion. The spontaneous movement of a substance from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration is called diffusion. The spontaneous movement of a substance from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration is called diffusion. Similarly, oxygen enters the cell by the process of diffusion when the level or concentration of oxygen inside the cell decreases. Oxygen enters the cell by the process of diffusion when the level or concentration of oxygen inside the cell decreases. Thus, diffusion plays an important role in gaseous exchange between the cells as well as the cell and its external environment. Water also obeys the law of diffusion. The movement of water molecules to such a selectively permeable membrane is called osmosis. So let us see what is osmosis. The movement of water across the plasma membrane is also affected by the amount of substances dissolved in water. Thus, we can define osmosis is the passage of water from a region of high water concentration through a semi-permeable membrane to a region of low water concentration. Osmosis is the passage of water from a region of high water concentration to a region of low water concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. Here you can see the movement of water molecules from a region of high water concentration to a region of low water concentration through a selectively permeable membrane. What will happen if we put an animal cell or a plant cell into a solution of sugar or salt in water? One of the following three things would happen. There are three possibilities. If the medium surrounding the cell has a higher water concentration than the cell, meaning that the outside solution is very dilute, the cell will gain water by osmosis. Such a solution is known as hypotonic solution. Here you can see the hypotonic solution. Here, solvent is more inside the cell and solute is less inside the cell. So fewer solutes and more solvent. If the medium surrounding the cell has a higher water concentration than the cell, meaning that the outside solution is very dilute, the cell will gain water by osmosis. Such a solution is known as hypotonic solution. Water molecules are free to access across the cell membrane in both directions, but more water will come into the cell than will leave. The net result is that water enters the cell. As a result, the cell is likely to swell up. So this is the hypotonic solution. The second condition is hypertonic solution. If the medium has a lower concentration of water than the cell, meaning that is very concentrated solution, the cell will lose water by osmosis. Such a solution is known as hypertonic solution. Here you can see more solutes and less solvent. Again, water crosses cell membrane in both directions, but this time more water leaves the cell than enters it. Therefore, the cell will shrink. Thus, osmosis is a special case of diffusion through a selectively permeable membrane. The third case is isotonic solution. If the medium has exactly the same water concentration as the cell, there will be no net movement of water across the cell membrane. Such a solution is known as isotonic solution. Iso means same, tonic means strength. That means same concentration of solutes and solvent. So such a solution is known as isotonic solution. Water crosses the cell membrane in both directions, but the amount going in is the same as the amount going out. So there is no overall movement of water. The cell will stay the same size. The cell will remain as it is. See all these solutions you can compare now. Isotonic, same concentration of solute and solvent. In the case of hypertonic, more solute and less solvent. Hypotonic, fewer solutes and more solvent. Now let's go for an activity, osmosis with an egg. Remove the shell of an egg by dissolving it in dilute hydrochloric acid. The shell is mostly calcium carbonate. So the shell will be dissolving by the action of dilute hydrochloric acid. A thin outer skin now encloses the egg. Put the egg in pure water and observe after 5 minutes. Here you can see. What do we observe? The egg swells because water passes into it by osmosis. Water enters into the egg by osmosis. The second case, place a similar deshelled egg in a concentrated salt solution or sugar solution and observe for 5 minutes. The egg shrinks. Why? Water passes out of the egg solution into the salt solution. Water passes out of the egg solution into the salt solution or sugar solution because the salt solution or sugar solution is more concentrated. We can also try similar activity with the dried raisins or apricots. Unicellular freshwater organisms and most plant cells tend to gain water through osmosis. Absorption of water by plant roots is also an example of osmosis. Thus, diffusion is important in exchange of gases and water in the life of a cell. In addition to this, the cell also obtains nutrition from its environment. Different molecules move in and out of the cell through a type of transport requiring use of energy in the form of ATP. All these things you will study in later chapters. The plasma membrane is flexible and is made up of organic molecules called lipids and proteins. This is very important. The plasma membrane is flexible and it is made up of organic molecules called lipids and proteins. However, we can observe the structure of the plasma membrane only through an electron microscope. We have already studied about the nutrition in amoeba. The flexibility of the cell membrane also enables the cell to engulf in food and other materials from its external environment. Such a process are known as endocytosis. The flexibility of the cell membrane also enables the cell to engulf in food and other materials from its external environment. We know amoeba produces finger-like projections called pseudopodia, and as a result, it will be able to capture the food. So such a process are known as endocytosis, and amoeba acquires its food through such processes. Here you can see. Dear students, this is all for today's class. In next class, you will learn about cell wall and nucleus. Till then, bye. Take care. Thank you.